I got Alexandered.
Dude, are we done with Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Yeah? Alright, what do you want to move to?
Can I see you?
Everybody's like, yep. Everybody's like, yep.
Guys.
One Direction, dude.
Guys.
One Direction, dude. I know some One.
Guys.
One Direction, dude. I know some 1D. I know some 1D. Let me see you go after all this.
Okay, we're back. We're back. I don't know what's going up with TikTok lives tonight. You just sprayed the phone. The phone has got misted. It got misted. Okay.
This came on shuffle. Playing like the end of a sad movie.
I know we played this one before, but we have to play it again because
And
it's way
you don't
too
really
good.
wanna see. Oh, it cut me off. What is this? Vibe change. Alright, what up? You're shotgunning with us, Debbie? No. Alright, Debbie, I'll shotgun with you. Let's go.
Girl, you know I've been known you forever.
Why is it?
How many nights have we hung out together? Little bar, little town, round this old dance floor. My girls tap me on the shoulder. Getting any closer. They wanna know what's up while I'm still holding you. When you bend a little, there's a rumor going around about me and you, stirring up our little town the last week or two. So tell me why we even try to deny this feeling. I feel it and you feel it too. There's a rumor going round and round and round. What you say, we make it true. We make it true. You asked your hubby to shotgun for you, did he? Did he do it?
Did he?
Down, but I'm motor crazy. I can do whatever you want me to do, baby. Right now, we can really give them something to talk about. There's a rumor going round about me and you, stirring up a little town.
Alex makes me weak in the knees too when I hear him sing like this.
So tell me how we even try to deny this feeling. I feel it and you feel it too. There's a rumor going round and round and round.
Got a question for you when you're done your solo.
Yeah.
I think a question that you guys might enjoy. I think we should do a little like question.
Alright.
Question back and back. Like
Okay.
I ask you a question, you ask me a question.
Alright.
You meet someone.
Okay.
You get one chance. You meet them, you're like, okay.
Sorry, wait one sec. Elizabeth, I do agree, 100%. Okay.
Elizabeth, he agrees, 100%. Okay. You meet someone.
Okay.
And it's not like an interest, you're like, oh, like I seriously
Melissa, thank you. Yeah.
like them. What do you do for a first date? You have one date to like impress someone. Impress the
someone.
girl that like you truly like. What do you do? What do you do?
Okay, well, it depends. Is it somebody that I'm like just meeting, or is it somebody that I've known for a while?
No, you're just meeting.
Okay, well, that's a tough one because like if you're just meeting them and you don't know much about them already, I'd say the best option might be dinner. Because it's like at least like yeah, you're eating and whatnot, but it's like over dinner you can have some quality conversation, and it's way better than just going to like a movie. You know what I mean? A lot of people go to dates for a movie, and it's like,
no, you don't.
That's not what you do. You know what I mean?
Like,
because you don't talk. You're just watching a movie. That's not where you get to
deeper question. Like, deeper question. Okay. How much are you playing into little things? Because like I would do. Okay, so for example, like on any first date that I would go on, that would go for dinner.
Right.
I would never pay with my card. I would always take out cash before, so it was like quicker and you spend less time.
Yeah.
And I would look at the menu beforehand, so I never spent time looking at the food.
Oh.
So I knew what I wanted to order before I went there. Like, would you like? Are you thinking of like that type of stuff?
Okay,
or you
like,
just because you're a go with the flow kind of guy.
I'm a go with the flow kind of guy,
like,
but but when it comes down to certain situations, I'm not. Like I thoroughly think out my situation.
Someone just said such a Scorpio move.
I love that. But like no, like honestly, it depends on the situation. Like it's like, you know, if it's somebody that I'm truly interested in, which would only be the case if I'm going out for dinner, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not, like I've said before, I'm not one to waste time. So it's like, if we're going out, it's because I see the bigger picture, even though it's like, we don't know each other fully yet, but it's like, if I'm interested in you, I will take all the smallest steps to make sure that it goes right. And I'll go that extra mile 100%. So like, even like the little things like you said, like, yeah, I'd be on top of that 100%. Like, I'd make sure that it's like, it's gonna be A1 of a night. It wouldn't just be like to go with the flow. Like,
dinner,
that's just,
or would you try and plan something else? Because like I like to do something.
It depends on the person. Like, it's like
I like to do like, I try and like, I don't know, if I were to go on when I go on a first date, I try to always like do something not out of the ordinary, but like.
But you don't want to overdo it at the same time.
No, there's a difference between like overdoing. Okay, for example, is like my dad's friend has this tree house that's fucking sick on one of his properties that I have the key to, so I would use.
I know, I've been there, and that's where I got stung by the fucking black
that's where you got stung by the bee. So that was like the spot, not to like go there, but it's like you just go to see it because it's something different.
Yeah.
And
I agree. I agree with that 100%. But like,
you probably wouldn't.
Before I take
because she'd be you.
What a fucking asshole. But like, it depends, because it's like, you know, I've always been the kind of one to kind of get to know them a little bit before I took them out. So it's like, I would make sure that it's suitable. Yeah. Like, if it's like, I know their interest to a certain extent, unless it's like somebody that, you know, you meet face to face, which then it's like, you know, you have to kind of just feel out the situation. But it's like, if it's somebody that you've kind of talked to for a little bit, like, you know, I'd plan it accordingly. Like, if I know their interests, I'd do something along the lines.
But it's also like, it is less about what you do and more about how you like communicate with each other,
100%. But it's like, no,
go with the flow for sure. Somebody said hike in a Shinkle is a hike first date kind of guy.
100%.
Shinkle is 100% first date kind of guy. Shinkle, like, TJ knows.
Do you like Japan? I've never been to Japan, but I've never actually personally been there, so I can't actually formulate an honest response on that.
It's a good answer you had to that one, though. That was a good answer to that question.
Thanks.
It's a good answer.
Thank you.
If it's like someone you don't really know, and it's just kind of like on a whim, it's always like a coffee thing. It's always like a quick coffee, because then it's like, it's a quick and out if it's not. Like, I've had that before where it's like, okay, it just doesn't go well. So that's when I'm like, okay.
See, I've never been like one to go for coffee though. Like, if I were to take somebody out, it's for dinner, and if it doesn't go well, it doesn't go well. I don't care. It is what it is. But it's like, if it goes well, I'd go. Like, that's where it's like it kind of comes into play where it's like, I'm pretty good at like making the spontaneous decisions, where if it's like it's going well and you find some of their interests within the conversation over that dinner, it's like, all right, you want to do this, let's go out for this after. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it kind of just it depends, but
yeah. Oh, that was a good answer.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciates it. He didn't even pay for my coffee. Definitely only. Yeah, Melissa, there you go.
Yeah.
Shut him down. There's
Johnny. Johnny, we'll see you in Nashville, baby.
Yes, sir.
You and Jake Pett. Next
yes,
question, Justin. Do I got another question? Or you want to ask one? Or you want me to ask you another one?
Yeah, ask me another one.
Ask you another one?
Yeah. You're better at thinking of questions than I am, to be honest with you. I suck at that. I really do.
Alright, I'll ask you another one. And then we'll go from there.
Okay.
Okay. What I'm trying to think of the realm. Like, do we want to continue on that like topic?
Anything,
or do you
man.
Like,
anything. Hit me with anything. I'll answer
anything?
any question. I'll answer anything. I promise you.
Okay. You're starting high school again.
Okay.
And this has nothing to do with like regret or wishing you could change things.
Okay.
But you're in today's age.
Yep.
You don't necessarily have, say, like, let's say you don't have like a following on TikTok and a good community that you do. You're fresh into high school.
Okay.
What direction do you take? Like, do you follow that same direction you went in high school, or is there like other things you would want to branch into, like try other things?
Okay, so the only thing that I would actually change about my high school experience, if I were able to relive it, almost as if you've worded the question, it would be I wouldn't change much, but I would 100% apply myself more into the academics, as where before I was just solely in it for the social and sports.
Okay, fair enough.
So like, don't get me wrong, I didn't get awful grades. I didn't get awful grades at all. But I knew my shit, okay guys?
No,
I knew my shit, but I didn't apply myself 100% because I didn't like the academic side of it. To me, it just wasn't presented in an appealing way where it was like I wanted to give it my all, and which it's like that's just personally me. So I was like, you know what I mean? So if anything, I would have just applied myself more to that, because it's like, it's not that I didn't know my shit, but it's like I could have tried harder.
No, but
you know
like
I mean?
you're all like, even I remember like you helped me out in like math a couple of times when I would like not study and shit like that because I was busy doing whatever. Like you were smart. So okay, to go deeper into that.
Okay.
You apply yourself more academically.
Yeah.
What would be your next goal? So say you applied yourself academically, you get the grades. So would you, okay, so like to play soccer somewhere?
To play soccer. And it's not like that opportunity was gone, because I had schools in the States that were looking at me like that. Like it was a thing. And then I tore my hamstring and then it was over. Game over. Boom, shut down. But at the same time, it goes back to it. Like I would have applied myself 100% harder in everything that I did. Sports, academics, friends, everything. I mean, like, it's not that I didn't apply myself in the friends and sports aspect, but the school one especially, I could have done better. 100% I could have done better, but I just wasn't in it. And at that time of age, you're so immature, and it's like you're not thinking of the bigger picture at the time. You're just going with life, where it's like now it's like, obviously, like you live and you learn, but it's like I would have done it. I would have applied myself better. 100%.
Fair enough.
100%. It's not like, yeah, I don't know. That's just what it is. Okay. What about you? Okay, what about you? If there was one thing you could have changed about your high school experience, what would you have changed? Like, would you have still gone to NCC or
no.
like? No?
No.
See, but I think that was
solely like parents.
Okay, but this is from an outsider perspective, but I think like it was a very good move for you.
I think it was a good move because I met a lot of kids. It gave me like it built me friendships with people who came from different countries.
But it also took you out of the aspect where your comfort zone, where it wasn't like you were with me and the boys all the time. Like you were like, that was your shit, and it was like, it was up to you what you made of it. It was like
good because I was able to kind of like spend time focusing on what I actually wanted to do with my life. Like it forced me to be like that's when, you know, like
that's when I noticed the biggest change in you, because when you changed or when you switched from RCBHS to NCC, the maturity level jumped. And it was like a noticeable change.
And it was just because like I'm around all these kids who were from like all over the world who were like really smart and knew what they were doing, so it forced me to be like, okay, what do I want to do? And I found out kind of what I was good at.
Yeah.
Like, it allowed me to do like a stock market competition that I did really well in, and I was like, okay, that's my direction. So it gave me a sense of direction.
Mm-hmm.
But if I were to change like anything about high school, it would probably just be like, I think taking myself more seriously. Like, there was a period in time like I didn't take myself like that seriously, and I think that was like my years leading up to going there, where it was like I was just like, oh, I'm just like this kid who plays like sports and like can hang out with his buddies and you know, like that type of shit. Mindset, like I didn't really take myself seriously, and I was like 100%. Oh, like I'm actually good at something, like I need to explore that. And that allowed me to dive deeper into things, and that allowed me to like get an internship in New York, and that was solely from NCC. So it's like, I don't know.
No, honestly, I think that was the best move you made in high school, was switching to that school for the last, whatever it was, whenever you switched until 12th B, and when you came back, that was definitely the best move you could have made. Because then when you came back, our soccer team was so fucking good, man.
Yeah, dude, our soccer team was gross.
We were good. Hayden, what's up?
Hayden, you know, you're our daddy boy. You better be coming with Jake and Johnny to Nashville. I'll make sure Gina allows it. I'll make sure Gina allows it.
Yeah, NCC was a private school in our area.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell me it's gonna... Okay. What about your drive-in? Like the drive-in where you go to watch movies? But, yeah. No. Anyways, okay. So next question. If there was one thing you could have changed in your earlier years aside from school, what would it have been?
In my earlier years.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good question. Like earlier years, like in terms of like my like what do you mean?
Like you're like as a kid, like growing up, like what was one thing about yourself that you would have wanted to change? Thinking back on it now. A personality trait, an experience, anything.
I would say, like, and without diving too deep into it, because I've kind of spoken on this before. So I realized early on, when you come from a small town, and I've mentioned this before, like, I recognize my privilege. Like, I come from a family where I didn't have to worry about certain things. Like, I didn't have to go to debt to go to, like, post-secondary. My parents never, like, handed me things, but I didn't have, like, issues that I saw other people had.
Right.
And then I just, like, it turned me to a point where I just kind of was like, fuck it, and I just started, like, embracing it, like, fuck that, like, whatever, it is what it is. And it kind of probably made me come off, like, a little bit arrogant.
Right.
At that time when I was, like, immature and I didn't recognize it, I was just pissed hearing it.
Right.
And I would say, like, I would wish I would have that maturity to, like, filter out that.
Yeah.
And just know, like,
that's a good
I do have good values, really and like I know who I am, and it's not that.
Like,
so I would say that would probably be like, that would probably be the one thing, was like to filter out the noise of like having that.
That's a good
like
answer.
No, and it made me not answer. Like
that's really good.
Not that I never really was someone who cared what other people thought, but it was just like I would hear it and I would be like.
You don't act on it, but you don't act,
like, but
you
it
think
hits
about
you,
it,
like,
and you're
especially
like,
when it like after
like,
a couple of years.
That's what you think.
It's just like you're like, fuck it, you know what, whatever. And I like it got to a point where it's just annoying, so I'd be like, fuck it, And I just wish I had that maturity to like filter it out and like be like, no, like I'm I'm true to my values, like I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. This is where it kind of comes into play though. Like Kuhn at a young age, building up until this point, has had a fuckload of life experience in a different aspect than I have. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we have both had, like in combined, we have a lot of life experience for being only early 20s. So it's like, but like the best part is like he's had life experience in different aspects, and I've had mine in my own. And
I think that plays a part in how our business relationship works.
It mixes very good, because whatever I slack in, Kuhn excels in, and whatever Kuhn slacks in, I excel in, and it's like it just works very well.
It just
and
works.
It's just like
it just works.
It's a good mixture.
And I think like
everything we've done, because we've spoken about this many times when we were out in the patio. Many times, like it was like looking back at it now, like everything we did up until this point built us to this point.
Yeah, literally.
Like it was like
literally.
Like you can ask my mom about this. Like I always talk. Like I was like, no, like there was a reason why we met each other, and it was like at the time I didn't know what it was. So then there was like a year or two where it was like we didn't lose contact, but it was like you were doing your own thing, I was doing my own thing, and it just kind of was like. You know what I mean? But then it kind of just all kind of clicked, and then now it's like it's starting to make sense. It's like okay, like this is like it makes sense in my head, because it's like it's hard to explain, but it's like
it's hard to like put into words, like because it's like obviously you like we're on live a lot. You guys see and we're very transparent about it, but it's like when I say like we've never had like a disagreement, even after living like with someone for like a month and a bit, like Alex and I have never like had like any nothing. It's just because we know our roles and we know what we're doing. And I think like our experiences, like as I've said, like I had a lot of like I went through a whole period of like trying different things in like the realm of like business and figuring out like what I was best at. And then when I realized like when Alex kind of brought me on to here, I was like, okay, like I'm the perfect
like,
compliment. I'm the perfect compliment for this. And it's just I don't know, it just works really well.
And I firmly believe, like Kara Ann, like you said, I firmly believe that it's like you meet people for a reason, whether you want to or not. It's all about the way you look at things. And it's like, okay, so my buddy Ryan Nar, I've spoke about Ryan many times, and like he's very in depth with like trying to figure out like the mental aspect of life. And it's like he said this very well, okay? And this is something you should think about too, okay? If you ever have something that happens to you, don't think of it as it's happening to you. You have something bad that happens, don't be like, oh my god, like this is so like think of it as like it happened for you. You got to look at it as the bright side, where it's like, oh, okay, this might have happened, but it happened for you. Try to focus on that, and it honestly is life changing. It honestly is life changing. Like it's like the way you think about things is way different than like switching out the words to and if or for.
And on that, like I heard a quote a while ago that made so much sense to me, and it actually came from the guy, what's the British kid's name? Tom something, who plays Tom Harland, who plays Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Tom Holland.
And he said, life comes from you, not at you. And it takes a while until like for you to realize that.
Which is true. Like it's like you have to recognize when it's like, okay, something negative may no worries. Where it's like something may have happened to you. But it's like, no, it didn't happen to you.
What's up with you?
It happened for you. You just got to take it.
Well, that's fine.
Look at the lesson that came from it and move on. Don't dwell on it, because there's nothing ever that's going to happen about you overthinking a situation and constantly looking back at it thinking, fuck, I wish I did this, wish I did that. Like that, it does nothing for you. Like, there's no point in doing that. You got to think about just being like, hey, how can I grow from this? What can I take away from this? And move on with your life. You keep dwelling on that situation, you're going to be stuck
we switch
in a
chairs
spot. Yeah. Okay. We'll switch chairs. And it's just like, you just don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you will have overall happiness so much quicker if you start thinking like that compared to if you start... Like you can't dwell on yourself or your decisions, because here's the thing. Anything you've done in the past, you cannot regret, okay? Because in that exact moment in your life, that's exactly what you wanted. You know what I mean? So if you have regrets, cut it. Because it's like, you don't regret it. In your exact moment of your life right there, that is exactly what you wanted, and you cannot dwell on yourself for that. All you can do is just accept the fact that it happened, learn from it, and grow. That's it. That's all. With that being said, I gotta go take a leak, so I'll be right back. But still, think about it. Think about it.
We just play musical chairs.
Yeah, man, I feel so bad.
We'll make sure this is on Pretty Boy for when he gets back. Deep thoughts. Those are deep thoughts from Alex. What's up, guys? What's up? Lisa, what's happening? Reed, what up, bro? Reed, what are you up to? Jack and Sam are in Vancouver right now. Not too much, man. We're just in Whistler. We're going out tonight. We're gonna go out for a little bit. We've met a couple people. Well, actually, we met someone today who was telling us the spots to go, so I think we're gonna try it. Yeah, we'll invite him in. Reed, you trying to come in? Yeah, tell him, come in, bro. Come in. Oh. Alright, do you want this or do you want me to fix this? So. Is this good? Do you want more?
Read what's shaking, what's shaking. Dude, where'd my brewski go?
It's in your glass, empty. Bro. What do you mean?
No, but it's empty, pretty much. Hello! Ay, your love is like magic, magic, magic. Ay.
Kara, I saw that.
What did she say?
Kara sent a text.
I just sent myself likes by accident. I turned them on. Takeout. Box. What does that mean, Barbara? By accident. Alicia. Hi, you. Hello. How goes it? Oh, fuck. Is he not in here anymore? Okay, more questions. Kuhn, hit me with one.
I love how this gets turned right to me.
Because you ask good questions, though. Like, you ask, like, good questions.
Okay. You're 70 years old.
Okay.
You're 70 years old, you're sitting on a porch. Actually, no, you're sitting on a park bench. And for the first time in 30 years, you decide to reflect on your life.
Okay.
What do you want your life to look like?
I want it to be full of memories. Like, exactly what we're doing right now. But
okay,
like,
dive a little deeper into like the intricacies of like what that looks like.
Like, so, like I want it to be filled with like traveling, having like wholesome moments with my friends, like, you know, just having thorough good times with buddies. Because like I hear about like stories between my mom, my dad, all of their friends when they were younger, and it's like they thoroughly enjoyed their time. You know what I mean? It's like they lived their life to their fullest when they were our age, and it's like I want that to be a highlight. Like it's like I don't want to live and just be like, wow, I wish I did this, I wish I did that. Like I want to be like, yeah, I did that shit. So yeah, that ideally that's what I want it to look like, where it's like there's a lot of, yeah, Karen, exactly, Carrie Ann, exactly, where it's like you have a lot of personal connections with everything. It's like you didn't just do something to do it, it's like it's truly what you wanted to do. Like I just want it to be like I want to feel like I've actually lived my life, not just sitting there thinking like, oh fuck, like I wish I did
I wish I did more.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Fair
it's
enough.
like I want it to be like, and like right now I feel like we're on a very, very solid track with that. It's like we've been making memories at least for the last month over. Yeah, chase the dream, not the money. It's like I just want to live my life to the fullest extent that I can, and just, well, that's crazy. And yeah, so it's like I just want to live it like to the absolute the highest of capability. Like I know what I'm capable of to a certain extent, and it's like I just want to live it up. What advice would you give to your future children? Go out there and make the absolute most of every single opportunity life throws at you, because here's the thing, okay? This is one thing that's always stuck with me. I'm not gonna like.
I have such an answer for this.
I'll make it short so that you don't lose it.
Such an answer for this, and go for it.
Okay, so it's like, hold on. Oh fuck. %90 sure I went to high school with him. What advice would you give? Okay, so it's like, try out every opportunity that you get, because it's like, here's the thing. People always say, you know, like your high school years, your early 20s are the best times of your life. But that's only true if you capitalize on the opportunities that life throws at you. Because, you know, life, like, here's the thing. Life will throw opportunities at you left, right, and center, constantly throwing them at you, but it's only up to you on what you want to do with them. If you sit back and choose to just be like, oh, I'm gonna let it pass, it's gonna pass, you know what I mean? But if you decide to be like, hey, fuck that, I'm gonna try this out, capitalize on it, doesn't work out, you at least tried, you know what I mean? You can't take failure too hard, because that's where you learn. And it's just like, you have to make the most of every opportunity that life throws at you. And I wish I realized that earlier on in life, because I was just way too shy and in my own shell, where it was like, fuck it, like I'm just gonna stay in my comfort zone. And you know what? Nothing, like, don't get me wrong, I still had a great childhood, I still had great memories, but I definitely could have made a lot more of it, capitalizing on opportunities that were presented to me, but I didn't. And then this came around and I was like, I'm not letting that happen again. And I'm like, we're capitalizing on this opportunity that we can do, and we're gonna live a good life, and we're gonna spread positivity, we're gonna pass a message, we're gonna build something from this. And it's been absolutely phenomenal, and it's super, super encouraging. Like, it's just like, it makes you feel good, and you build so much more self-confidence off of that, compared to where if you just stay in your comfort zone. Like, it's good and all to stay in your comfort zone, but like, you're never gonna learn anything in your comfort zone. The only time you grow as a person is if you expand. So with that being said, I would have expanded a lot quicker as a kid and taken a lot more on opportunities, and trying to hold back on my shyness and just be like, fuck it, come out. And yeah, that's just how it is. But no, that's definitely what I would tell my future kids.
True.
Hop on every opportunity that life throws at you, because you don't know which one's going to be the game changer, you know? So. What?
I don't know what it was. Who cares?
Okay, Kuhn, now let's hear your response. Dude,
God.
who's calling?
Who is this? Oh, I know who it is. We're leaving it. Sorry, I gotta recollect myself. In the simplest of forms, this speaks volumes and it has application in everything, whether it comes to opportunity and life in general. Good?
Yeah.
Ask her out. Ask her out.
Facts.
Straight up.
Facts. Bro.
Ask her out. Ask her out in the simplest of forms. And that's not even whether it's a girl or like if it's like whatever, whoever you think you're interested in, like ask her out. Whether it's an opportunity, as Alex spoke on, whether it's just feeling like you have a need to do something, or whether it's in that situation. Because if you think about it, it's like, you know how timid you get when you're like, oh, like, should I do it?
Yeah, you get
like
gunshot.
In that like
you get gunshot.
Situation of like, okay, I'm getting along, but it's kind of like just do it, like just ask her out, because that's the thing is like everybody gets so caught up in like the worst case scenario.
Everybody's super afraid of rejection.
But that's what like builds you. That's like character building. That's like take that chance, like move forward, because you're only gonna like learn and better yourself from it. And when it comes to like opportunities, it's like we both took like an immense amount of risk coming to. I gotta go.
Okay. Reed, brother, what's up, my guy?
I'm literally in bed and you guys are about to start your night.
Yeah, I don't even know what time it is right now.
The Whistler life.
Yeah, what time is it for you right now?
11:15.
Okay, so it's about 9:15. No, 8:15 for us.
Dude, Whistler was so much fun. I was there 2 summers ago and it was amazing.
You've been to Whistler?
I did Whistler, I did Banff. Banff's in Alberta, but I did Whistler, Jasper.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We did Victoria.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it there. The West Coast.
Oh, it's insane, man. Like Whistler and Banff because we did the road trip earlier in June, and Whistler and Banff were my top 2 cities that we visited. Like it was phenomenal.
Right, and then, like the drive too, like getting there is just unreal.
The best one was Banff Jasper, because you go down that Iceland Highway or whatever it's called. It's phenomenal.
So what's the plan tonight?
We're gonna go out to the village and see what's shaking.
Couple waters, read, and go to bed.
Yeah, that sounds like my kind of night. You know, some water and bed. No, this is rare for me. I'm actually in bed at 11. Like it's not a 5 a.m. live. Like this is actually like whoa, shocking.
Do you have any big plans for Halloween?
I might do something tomorrow night, but other than that, yeah, nothing too crazy. Yeah, I never really do anything on Halloween.
True. How's school been going for you? The kids behaving or what?
It's okay, man. How's life in BC?
Man, phenomenal. It's been great. Like we are thoroughly enjoying our time here, and it's like I have no complaints.
Oh, I can only imagine. And your plan to buy a place now? This is crazy.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be really good. Like we're thoroughly looking forward to it. And it's just like a stepping stone, you know. It's just like it's just the next step in the process, and it kind of brings back the blue collar vibes. So it should be good. Yeah.
Hey, as long as there's bunk beds in that place, then we're golden. Right?
The bunk beds, man.
I love how there's always a plan. You guys are always thinking about new things, and when I jumped into your live like 20 minutes ago, you guys were talking about how like we don't focus on the past. You know, it's all about like the now. Yeah. I love that because you know what? Like we don't put enough focus in our life on like what's going on right now, this instant. It's always about thinking about what's to come or the past.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like it's good to think about the past to a certain extent where it's like you can learn lessons from what you've done before, but it's like you can't dwell on it because nothing good comes from that. If you sit there and stress about something you did 2 years ago, like why you like don't stress about that. Like That's just going to cause unnecessary thoughts in your head in the moment, and you're just going to lose self-confidence, and it just doesn't benefit anybody. You just got to keep.
We can even dwell on what's going on right now in our life, right? Things that are going on even now, and it's like if it doesn't change anything, if it doesn't do anything for the circumstance, and like it's just going to create unnecessary thoughts. So we are basically how our day goes. So like our thoughts manifest into the reality. So we just got to keep. Just don't spill on yourself, because that's never a good thing either.
Yeah. Reed, I got a question for you.
Son of a bitch.
What's up?
Right.
You're a teacher. If there's one thing you could change about the current academic system, what is it?
Honestly, like I wouldn't really change anything. I think like everything.
Like a curriculum. Like, is there something you think kids need to be learning now that isn't put in place in, like, the current Canadian education system?
Not really. I mean, like, I think the most important thing to talk to anyone about is just, like, mental health. Like, I think that's huge. If we can, like, talk more about mental health and, like, what's been going on in people's heads throughout COVID, before COVID, and just try to, like, take away the stigma. Like no one is weak. No one is alone. And that's something like I always try to emphasize is like everyone's going through their own battle, their own struggle, and we just got to kind of be here for each other,
No, that's very true, because it's like no matter how strong somebody appears to be, like there is something that's going on in their life that people don't know about, and it's like you got to like it doesn't matter. You can look at the happiest person in the world and they probably honestly have the most problems in the world. Like it's because it's like, man, like that's very true. That's very true.
No, and even you look at people who are just in really, really tough situations across the world, and like they still find reasons to smile and be grateful. And like that's huge, right? Because it's not about searching for happiness. Like happiness is just kind of whenever you decide. It's a mindset.
Yeah.
And being blessed and grateful, like that will really turn into happiness for you. But I mean, listen, like it's tough because we don't really know what's going on in someone's head, and to see someone smiling and be like, oh, they're happy, or to be on social media and be like, wow, they're living a life. Like we don't really know what they're feeling, like how they're doing, right?
No, exactly. Like you don't know. Like the only thing that I feel like I would change about like the school curriculum, and this is just from an outsider, like this is from a student point of view, would just be to like kind of like change it more so to the point where it's like it's more up to date with like the 21st century, because it's like there's just so much that has changed, and it's like especially within the last 10 years where so much has changed, where it's like a lot of things that are taught, like other than math and like stuff like that, where it's like formulas aren't going to change, but it's like in history, obviously, like you got to keep in history, but it's like with English and certain other subjects, it's like I feel like they should be more up to date with how it's going on now, because it's like learning about what it was like in the past is only going to keep us in the past, and it doesn't help you out in the long run, because you graduate high school and you're going into college, and it's like it's an eye-opener. It's a whole new different game. Like you're learning about real world situations, and it's just completely different, where it's like, I mean, like me personally, like our high school offered like this, I forget what it was called, like a life management course or something like that. But it was like, you didn't actually learn how to do taxes or any of this, like important.
That's what I'm saying. Like if there was a
financial aspect, like
there should
like
be
nobody knows
called life. A course called life. And what we talk about in the life course is mental health in general, jobs, having a mortgage, what it's like to go to a bank, like anything that like, normally we wouldn't necessarily learn. But like, I think it's great. Like this year they added, or last year they added in the curriculum, like learning like what a debit is and a credit card is, and like
really,
and e-transfer, and like even cryptocurrency.